Good morning, Idaho. Welcome to a new work week. This is Monday, February 14th, another edition of your weather hazard briefing from the National Weather Service in Pocatello. I'm meteorologist Kevin Smith. Okay, taking a look over the course of our brand new work week, our long anticipated system with snow. Remember what that is finally on our doorstep. So here comes the snow that we've been talking about for several days. Confidence pretty good at this point on the overall timing and progression of this system and the snowfall amounts that we're expecting across the region. Now, today actually won't be that bad. The system is coming in. Some clouds are already coming into the region, but models are offering a pretty good consensus that the steadiest, heaviest, most organized snow is going to hold off until tonight. We'll look at timing here in just a moment, kind of break that down for you, but portions of the Central Mountains in particular will start to see that activity towards sunset. But for a lot of our population centers, including in the Snake Plain, we're looking at either side of midnight or later before we really kick things off. So not a bad day weather-wise for most of you across southeast Idaho. Our focus for travel impacts, of course, anywhere where it's snowing and accumulating on the roads, there's some impact there, but Tuesday morning commute in particular might be a little bit slick over a decent chunk of the region due to the snow moving across. So that's kind of our focus for a little bit more widespread travel impact. And remember, winter driving safety. It's been a while since we've had to do this. Still unsettled as we go into Wednesday for the middle of the week. A little bit lower impact, though, with any snow showers, kind of a second round coming through portions of the area on Wednesday. We'll look at that here. But generally, once we get this main system out of here by Tuesday afternoon, looking a little more bland and a little bit more low impact as we go through the rest of your week. Breaking everything down here by day, a little bit front-loaded here. Here's our system Monday and Tuesday. Southeast and Eastern Highlands, really not highlighting anything here, but for everyone else, we've kicked off some PM or evening rain and snow, rain mixing in here for the Magic Valley and South Hills due to our warm temperatures that we're expecting today, but quickly changing over to snow and snow everywhere else. A little bit breezy in some of the mountains as well. Tuesday, really the focus, particularly the morning commute. Snow showers continuing throughout much of the day across the southern and eastern highland regions, mostly focused on the morning, though, across the rest of southeast Idaho, and that's why we've indicated AM snow showers here going into Tuesday. We'll see a little bit of a tapering trend as we go over the course of the day from west to east as the system starts to pull away from the region. Wednesday, little bit of a reinvigoration, a little bit of a second disturbance in the atmospheric flow coming down over the area. Few snow showers. I think southern and eastern highlands are going to really be highlighted for the best chance of some snow showers with this second piece of energy, but at this point can't rule out a few light snow showers just about anywhere across the forecast area. Then, of course, trending into quieter, drier conditions as we go toward the end of your week into Thursday and Friday. Taking a look at the satellite here, a very broad satellite view covering much of the northern Pacific, and it's really easy to get distracted by this gorgeous low pressure system out here, much further west in the Pacific, a little bit to the west of Alaska. Just beautiful spin there in the water vapor loop, but not the storm that's coming for us. If you look very closely, there is a little bit of a counterclockwise circulation here just off the western coast of Canada. You can see a lot of cloud cover streaming in across the Pacific Northwest, and as I zoom in a little bit closer to home here, you can see that mid to high level cloud cover starting to come in across the region as you wake up this morning. So a little bit less sunshine today. I think many of you will still see some sun. You can see there's certainly some breaks in this cloud cover, maybe even a little bit more of an organized clear area here coming in toward Portland and western Oregon. So some sunshine, but a mix of sun and clouds today compared to what we've seen the past couple days. And again, holding a lot of that snow off until later this evening or tonight. You're waking up to very cold temperatures across the region this morning, particularly out here across the Idaho National Laboratory in the Arco Desert. A few places like Copper Basin and Stanley leaning pretty low on temperatures this morning. Many locales in the teens right now as you're waking up, but We're headed toward a pretty nice day. High temperatures still getting up above normal for this time of year, generally into the mid-30s to lower 40s. So you can see places like Salmon, Chalice, and Stanley once again having a 40-plus degree day. Pocatello, westward into Twin Falls and Burley, down toward Oakley, also getting into the 40s today. So again, really not bad out there across much of the region as we wait for the impactful portion of the system to move in. Okay, system coming in. There are a few winter weather advisories for snowfall in effect here to the north. So as you head out of our forecast area over the divide into Montana or up into Lemhi County, those advisories are in effect for this system. Also in effect here for portions of northern Nevada. We looked at the necessity of issuing products this morning or issuing some type of an alert, and it looks like overall snowfall amounts are just a little too low. So right now we do not have a winter weather advisory out for any part of southeast Idaho in our forecast area here, but we'll continue to keep an eye on those numbers through the day. And remember, it doesn't take a lot of snow to make a road slick, even if we're not seeing significant accumulations. So when will the brunt of the storm arrive? So we've put this graphic together to show you when will the leading edge of the steadiest, most organized snowfall move into your region. And it's looking like 6 to 10 p.m. window here across the Central Mountains, with some of that starting to trickle into Lincoln County, maybe down close to Burley and Arco in that 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. window, so either side of sunset. But it's going to be either side of midnight, 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. here for the much of the Snake Plain corridor, including Pocatello, Idaho Falls, Rexburg, up into Island Park. And then finally, portions of the southeast highlands here down into Bear Lake, holding off on things initiating until about 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. So everybody should be seeing snow by the time we get to about sunrise on Tuesday morning. Now, chance of a few hit and miss light snow showers ahead of all of this. Can't rule that out this afternoon, particularly in the Central Mountains, maybe up along the Montana border, but few and far between and not impactful. It's really going to be this time frame when we're initiating the more impactful snow that's going to start to cause problems on some of the roadways out there. What are those snowfall totals looking like? Very little change in our forecast this morning. Model guidance is holding quite steady. Still looking for a general light dusting to maybe an inch down across much of the Snake Plain corridor, many of our lower elevation population centers. A little bit more, 1 to 2 inches as you head up past Ashton, up into Fremont County along US 20. 1 to 3 inches or so for a lot of the mid slopes. So as you start to get into any of the terrain here across the south and east and heading into the Central Mountains, 1 to 3 inches. And then as you get above about 7,000 feet, so we're generally talking about above pass level, looking for those highest totals on the order of about 2 to 5 inches. And you can see some of those higher numbers here in the Sawtooths, into the Boulders, up in Lemhi County as well. One area I want to highlight a little bit here in the western, or at least western portions of our forecast area here in the Central Mountains, some model guidance is hinting that some of that initial snowfall could be a little on the heavy side, with snowfall rates of about 1/2 inch an hour for a few hours late this evening into early tonight. So as you head north out of the Wood River Valley into the Central Mountain region and Stanley, for example, just be aware that some of those snowfall rates could be a little on the high side for a few hours this evening into early tonight. As far as exceeding 4 inches, what is our probability of getting there? Well, it's not going to happen over a large portion of southeast Idaho, unfortunately, including many of our lower elevation population centers, just not in the cards. We do have the Sawtooths, the Boulders, part of Lemhi County here, picking up a 50% chance or better of exceeding 4 inches. That's where the localized jackpots are going to be as far as the storm system, possibly over here into the Tetons as well. And then places like Galena Summit, about a 20% chance of making it over 4 inches, only a 3% chance up in Island Park. So overall, fairly light amounts by Idaho standards for this system. So we haven't done this in a while. We need to remember our winter driving rules. We encourage everyone slow down, particularly Tuesday morning as we head out for our commute. Certainly some areas in the lower elevations, the roads may be in pretty good shape, but other areas not so much, with some pretty widespread snow shower activity moving through. If this picture here you see on your screen is going to ruin your day and cause you some issues, please remember to avoid it. Slow down. Leave plenty of extra space between you and other vehicles. It does not take a lot of snow to cause slick conditions on the roadways, particularly when you're trying to brake. We're going to do a little before and after here. So here's another look at our latest snow water equivalent. That's how much water supply is currently trapped in the snowpack at higher elevations. 100% means we're right on target for this time of year. So we like to see the greens, and we're seeing that over a large area. As we drop below 100%, you can see some yellows here where values are in the 70s and 80s. That's where we're running a little behind at this point as far as having the water that we typically like to see in that snowpack. So want to throw this in here for a look right before our storm hits, and we'll see how these numbers might modify a couple days from now after this storm and the associated snow shower activity has moved through. Hopefully we'll make a little bit of improvement. We've been so dry for such an extended period of time now that these numbers have been creeping down, which is certainly not the direction we want to go as far as alleviating drought. Mention those breezy conditions. Over here on the left, we have wind gusts this afternoon into early tonight, really lighting up at the higher terrain of the Central Mountains and down here into the Eastern Magic Valley, some of the southern hills at gusts of 30 to 40 miles an hour. Continuing Tuesday behind the cold front that's going to come through. And you can see the mountains in particular in the Eastern Magic Valley, South Hills region lighting up once again, some areas gusting 30 to 40 miles an hour. Outside of those areas, though, generally not expecting widespread issues as far as any damage or difficult driving conditions, anything like that, and certainly not reaching advisory criteria based on our latest forecasts. High temperatures Tuesday as the storm's starting to wind down, cooling off a few degrees, generally in the upper 20s to mid 30s across the region. And as we head into Wednesday and Thursday with that tamer, more low impact weather, losing a few more degrees, but nothing terribly oppressive out there for temperatures, generally upper 20s to mid 30s continuing across the region. And that's what we're expecting. If you have questions, comments, and concerns, of course, reach out to us here at the office via phone or social media. And everyone have a wonderful week.